This is a video I was hoping that I never had to make, but unfortunately the time has come. My real estate business did unfortunately fail, or we did decide to close it down, and I did have to go back to work. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Matt, and I wanted to make a quick video to let you know why you might have noticed that I haven't been posting videos a lot recently. As I said in the intro there, unfortunately we did decide to close up shop with the real estate business I was working on, and I did have to go back to work. Now, with me going back to work, that unfortunately means that a lot of my stock videos are going to have to slow down just because I now have another commitment that takes up the majority of my free time. But really what I wanted to do today is just kind of give all of you an update for where I am, kind of what happened, or at a high level overview with why we decided to close down, and just my thoughts maybe moving forward with what I can do with this channel. If you haven't done so already, maybe before we get started here, if you don't mind just hitting the like button for me and subscribing if you haven't already, I always really do appreciate it. So per usual, I don't really have a script for this video at all. I actually just decided to write down a few topics maybe to talk about during this, but a lot of this is just going to be kind of me having like a dump sheet of thoughts. So I apologize in advance if I do go off any tangents, or if you just see me kind of blabbering on about something that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Now, for those of you that have been with me from the beginning, you know that my channel actually started with me leaving finance, going into real estate, and the premise or objective of my channel was really to document my journey from going from, hating a job to starting a new career, kind of taking a bold move, and hopefully at the end of it, I would have been some successful real estate agent or investor, something along those lines. Well, unfortunately, that's not exactly how it panned out, but I can't necessarily say that it's all bad either. And when I say the business failed, I don't mean that we ran entirely out of money or that something like really bad happened and we decided to close up shop. There was a few series of unfortunate events that just kind of lined up, and me and my one partner, Will, decided to just go ahead and maybe just call it quits, take the money we do have in the account, and just go on our own endeavors. Now, you might remember there was a third partner involved. We ultimately ended up having to let him go. Long story there, and I think I'll make another video going into more detail about why my business failed, maybe what we could have done differently. I don't really want to take the time to do that during this video though, so stay tuned for that video, or let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd be interested in. But I will let you know, basically what it came down to for why we decided to close up business is because we tried starting a real estate business that had a pretty good value opportunity to a lot of people, and we could have helped a lot of people in unfortunate financial situations. The problem is, first off, we were not the only people out there doing this, and we were actually competing against companies that have millions of dollars in cash that they're able to spend in advertising. We were basically going up against the companies like Zillow, Opendoor, Mark Spain, OfferPad, those kinds of companies, as well as other wholesalers and real estate investors. And I do believe that maybe in another market this business would have worked very well, but given how competitive real estate is, and people not really needing an easy out of their house to avoid some kind of financial situation, didn't necessarily help us reach success. To summarize basically what we were doing, if you had a house and you were potentially going to have to be foreclosed on, we were able to offer you an opportunity to get out of your house without having the foreclosure happening. So this way your credit score doesn't get hurt. We would give you a fair market price for your house, and then ultimately just let you be able to walk away with your hands clean. So again, this way you can have a better financial future. But in a time where foreclosures were not happening, evictions weren't happening, the real estate market was selling at higher prices than it ever has before, it definitely created a little bit of a challenge. And as I mentioned earlier, then in comes all of these big funds and publicly traded companies that really just kind of squash people like us trying to do this at a small scale. At the end of it, me and my partner Will were actually focusing on new construction homes because we were actually able to get those and sell them to the fund that we were working for. But I'll be honest, once we got to that point, we were kind of already worn out and beat from this entire process, and I had one of the most horrible experiences dealing with this fund that I've ever had in a real estate transaction. Long story short, I was able to get them 2 properties under market value in a new construction neighborhood that should have been a really quick and easy transaction. But what seemed so very simple at the beginning turned into an absolute nightmare. The attorney's office that we had wasn't sending over any deposits when we were under contract. It took them over 4 days just to recognize this transaction. And then ultimately, just a series of bad events happened that I basically decided that I need to step away because my reputation was more important to me than completing this transaction. Now at this point in time, it's been 2 years and I haven't really been making that great of money. So this was not an easy choice for me, but I just do believe more in my reputation, or it's going to go a lot further than just having 1 or 2 additional paychecks in my pocket. Absolutely, that money would have been nice, but if I wanted to continue in real estate, especially with dealing with new construction homes, I just knew that I could not continue working for this company who is ultimately going to throw me under the bus and make these transactions look bad and ultimately make me look bad as the representative. All right, I got to make this quick because my camera is about to die. I haven't used it in a while. But, so we decided to go our own way. Now, I am still working in real estate. I'm actually doing something very similar, but I'm just essentially an analyst for residential properties. And I just underwrite properties like all day. And it has been a lot more time consuming than I thought. I thought I was signing up for a part-time job so I continue doing these videos, but I'm now working about 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. So it is a lot of work. That's why I haven't really been able to post that often. But I wanted to make one thing clear. When I say my business failed, I actually look at it like I do have 2 businesses. I had the real estate business, and I also do view this YouTube channel as a business because, well, I got monetized 2 months ago. That's kind of the other kicker, though, is I thought getting monetized, I'd be able to get, $200-300 a month or so from this channel, and that would be at least enough for like food and whatnot. But so far, I've only made $16 on YouTube, so that is obviously not enough to really support a lifestyle off just $16. But truthfully, making these videos is absolutely what I love doing, and I don't want to stop yet, or really ever. I want to always continue doing these, and right now I feel like I just have so much I want to talk to all of you about, especially with the way the market's been doing, but unfortunately, I just don't have time. And at the end of the day of sitting in front of a computer all day, I just don't have it in me to then come home, sit up here, film this video, edit, research everything, because every one of my videos, when they're stock related, takes about 3 to 4 hours of my time to make, and I have no problem committing that time, but when I'm now working a full-time schedule, it just doesn't make it as easy. So moving forward, what I wanted to do, or kind of what I'm thinking, I'll just lay it out here, is I've thought about maybe tackling some short videos, so maybe just doing like minute clips or something. I also thought about maybe doing like those research videos that you've seen me do, where I just take you on my computer and show you how I research companies. Or maybe I'll just be able to post like on Saturdays or something, but it really is a lot to take into consideration because, again, I'm working 6 days a week, so really Sundays, and I don't really want to use my one day off to still be sitting inside in front of a computer. So that's kind of just where I am right now, my thoughts. One other thing I wanted to say before I wrap up here, again, before my camera dies, is that I just really appreciate all the support from all of you. Since I've stopped making these videos, I've gained an immense more amount of subscribers, which is kind of a weird concept, but I like the way the algorithm works sometimes. And also, when I made the post saying that I've gone back to work, a lot of you have been really supportive on that, commenting on my other videos, maybe sharing my videos with other people so that way I can continue making these videos. So I just really can't thank you all enough, and that is one of the biggest reasons why I enjoy making these, is because from what I've seen, I have one of the most supportive groups on YouTube that I've seen on any other channels, and that's just something that really means a lot to me. So, like I said, I'm going to have to wrap up here because I do actually have to go back to work, and camera's probably going to die in any second now. I guess if you don't mind actually sharing my channel maybe with somebody that might be interested in finance, or leaving some suggestions for what I can do to continue growing my audience, because ultimately, if this were to take off to where I wouldn't have to work another job, I would be full-time committed to making these videos and would probably be able to post 3-4 times a week. So if you don't mind just liking, subscribing, telling your friends or something, it really does help me out more than just asking for it so that I can, work the algorithm. This is what I actually want to be doing, but like I said, $16 just isn't really enough to be going. And that's why also too, I have like every ad turned on because I really did my best to make this work, and I'm not done trying yet. So with all of that said, I'm going to just wrap up here. Thank you so much for taking the time of your day to watch this video. You could be anywhere in the world, but as always, you're right here with me, and I really do appreciate that. I'll let all of you go ahead, enjoy the rest of your day, and I really am excited to see you again next time.